Hey everyone, and welcome to our deep dive into healthy pregnancy.
Yes,
We're
welcome.
going to be taking all our info today from the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases.
NIDDK,
Exactly.
which is
NIDDK for short.
a U.S. government health organization.
맞죠?
You're getting evidence-based advice.
Yeah, you can trust this. So think of this as your cheat sheet for navigating pregnancy, whether you're already expecting or just thinking about it.
Yeah, and the cool thing about all this information is that it helps you not just through pregnancy, but also for the long haul.
Totally.
It's about building healthy habits that benefit both you and your little one.
Absolutely. So let's unpack this journey together, starting with
Okay.
a myth.
Ooh, a myth.
That I think we've all heard eating for two.
Ooh.
I'm not going to lie, the idea of doubling my pizza order sounds pretty tempting.
Right.
But is there any truth to that?
It's a common misconception for sure. The reality is, especially in that first trimester, when your baby is just starting to develop, we're talking the size of a walnut. They don't need a huge calorie surplus.
Okay.
If you start your pregnancy at a healthy weight, you actually don't need any extra calories at all in those first few months.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah,
No extra calories in the first trimester.
it's true.
I'm already learning something new and we're just getting started.
I know, right?
Okay.
So it's one of those things that surprises a lot of people.
Right.
The focus should be on slow and steady weight gain,
Okay.
not loading up on extra portions.
Got it.
Think 1 to 4 pounds total in that first trimester,
Okay.
and then 2 to 4 pounds per month after that.
That makes a lot more sense. So if it's not about eating double, how much weight gain is considered healthy throughout the whole pregnancy?
Yeah,
I'm assuming it's not a one-size-fits-all situation.
you're absolutely right. Individualized guidance from your healthcare provider is key.
Okay.
But we can use something called body mass index, or BMI as a general starting point.
BMI.
Yeah, it basically looks at your weight in relation to your height to determine if you're underweight at a healthy weight, overweight, or have obesity.
So BMI is like a personalized roadmap for healthy weight gain during pregnancy.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
For example, if you're carrying one baby and you start your pregnancy underweight, meaning a BMI less than 18.5,
Okay.
you likely aim for 28 to 40 pounds of weight gain
Wow.
throughout your pregnancy. If you start at a healthy weight
Okay.
with a BMI between 18.5 and 24.9,
Hmm.
the recommendation is 25 to 35 pounds.
Got it.
Overweight with a BMI of 25 to 29.9
Mm-hmm.
means 15 to 25 pounds is the general guideline.
Okay.
And if you have obesity with a BMI of 30 or higher, the recommendation is 11 to 20 pounds.
Wow. That really puts things into perspective.
Yeah.
It's fascinating how individual factors play such a big role. So we've debunked the eating for two myths and talked about healthy weight gain based on BMI. Now let's get to the fun part,
Yes.
the food. What should our plates actually look like during pregnancy to support both our health and our baby's development?
Think color, variety, and nourishment.
Okay.
You want to load up on nutrient-dense foods that provide a wide range of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants.
Got it.
Fruits and vegetables are your best friends here.
Okay.
And they also provide fiber, which can help with some common pregnancy discomforts like constipation.
Okay. I'm already picturing a big, colorful salad with all sorts of delicious toppings.
Yes.
What else should we prioritize?
Whole grains are another essential part of a healthy pregnancy diet.
Okay.
Think oatmeal, whole grain bread, brown rice, quinoa.
Mm-hmm.
They're packed with fiber, B vitamins, and other important nutrients.
Got it. So we've got our colorful fruits and veggies, our hearty whole grains. What else should we be adding to this pregnancy plate?
Don't forget your calcium and vitamin D.
Oh, right.
These nutrients are essential for strong bones and teeth, both for you and your growing baby.
Makes sense.
Fat-free or low-fat milk, and milk products are excellent sources. But if you're not a dairy fan, look for fortified non-dairy alternatives, like soy almond or rice milk.
Got it. Now, I know protein is super important during pregnancy,
Yes.
especially for that little one who's growing at an incredible rate.
Right.
What are the best sources of protein for expectant mothers?
You want to prioritize lean protein sources,
Okay.
like beans and peas,
Mm-hmm.
eggs, lean meats, and low-mercury seafood.
Got it.
Unsalted nuts and seeds are also a great option if you can tolerate them and don't have any allergies.
So we're talking like a bean-rich salad for lunch and maybe some baked salmon with roasted veggies for dinner.
You got it.
Sounds pretty delicious to me.
It does.
And remember to limit your intake of salt, added sugars, and unhealthy fats.
Yes, limit those.
It's all about making choices that support your body and your baby's development.
Exactly.
So we've covered the major food groups, but are there any specific nutrients that are extra crucial during pregnancy, something we should be paying extra attention to?
One nutrient stands out in particular,
Okay.
folate, also known as folic acid.
Folate.
Yes, it plays a critical role in your baby's neural tube development,
Okay.
which forms their brain and spinal cord.
Wow.
Getting enough folate drastically reduces the risk of serious birth defects.
That's incredible. I never realized how much impact folate has.
It's huge.
What's the recommended daily intake during pregnancy?
Before pregnancy, the recommendation is 400 micrograms per day
Okay.
from supplements or fortified foods.
Mm-hmm.
But during pregnancy, that jumps to 600 micrograms.
Okay.
And while breastfeeding, you need 500 micrograms per day.
Wow. Okay.
It's crucial to talk to your doctor about ensuring you're getting enough through your diet and or a prenatal vitamin.
Wow. I'm definitely adding folate-rich foods to my grocery list. Orange juice, strawberries, spinach beans, fortified breads, and cereals.
Got it. You're on the right track.
Right.
It's amazing how much power these everyday foods have in supporting a healthy pregnancy.
This is all super helpful, but let's be real for a second. Pregnancy comes with its own set of challenges.
Yes, it does.
Cravings, morning sickness,
Yep.
heartburn, constipation.
Uh-huh.
Any tips for navigating those hurdles?
Absolutely. Let's start with morning sickness,
Okay.
which can be brutal. Try keeping some dry toast or crackers by your bed
Okay.
and nibbling on them as soon as you wake up, even before you get out of bed. It can help settle your stomach.
That's a great tip. And what about constipation? I've heard that can be a real issue.
It's very common, and luckily there are simple things you can do to combat it.
Okay.
The key here is fiber.
Okay.
Load up on those high-fiber fruits, veggies, and whole grains we talked about.
Yep.
Make sure you're drinking plenty of water,
Uh-huh.
and try to stay active. Even a short walk can make a difference.
Got it. Now, heartburn is another one that I've heard can be really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Any advice?
Small, frequent meals are your friend.
Okay.
Try to eat slowly.
Yeah.
Avoid spicy or fatty foods that might trigger heartburn.
Okay.
And don't lie down right after eating.
Okay, all great advice. Now let's talk about the things we absolutely need to avoid to keep both mom and baby healthy. What should be completely off limits during pregnancy?
First and foremost, alcohol is a no-go.
Okay.
It's crucial to completely avoid it throughout your entire pregnancy.
Right.
There's no known safe amount,
Okay.
and it can have serious consequences for your baby's development.
That's important to emphasize. No amount of alcohol is safe during pregnancy.
None.
Okay, next up, caffeine.
Yeah.
It's not a complete ban,
Right.
but moderation is key.
Yes, moderation is key.
Limit your intake to less than 200 milligrams per day.
Right. About 12 ounces of coffee.
So maybe switch to decaf or herbal tea in the afternoons.
Exactly.
Right.
And be mindful of hidden sources of caffeine, like chocolate and some sodas.
Got it. What about seafood? I know there's some types we should avoid.
You're right. High-mercury fish are a concern during pregnancy because mercury can build up in your system and potentially affect your baby's developing nervous system.
Wow.
Avoid king mackerel, marlin, orange, roughy shark, swordfish, and tilefish altogether. Limit white tuna to 6 ounces per week.
Got it.
And choose low-mercury options like salmon, shrimp, cod, and tilapia more often.
Okay, that's a good list to keep handy. Anything else on the no-go list?
A few more things. Be cautious of foods that could harbor illness, causing bacteria like soft cheeses from unpasteurized milk,
Okay.
raw cookie dough,
Mm.
undercooked foods, and deli salads. Make sure to cook everything thoroughly.
Got it. Safety first. Anything else?
One last thing, and this might sound strange, avoid anything that's not food. Some pregnant women experience cravings for non-food items, like laundry starch or clay.
Really?
These cravings, called pica, could indicate a nutritional deficiency, so talk to your healthcare provider if you experience this.
Wow. I had no idea. It's amazing what we learn when we really dive into a topic, isn't it?
I know, right?
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground on nutrition. Now let's shift gears and talk about exercise during pregnancy. Is it safe?
It is.
Is it recommended?
It is.
I've heard so many different things.
Yep. It's a topic that often raises questions. But the reality is that being active is incredibly beneficial for both you and your baby.
Okay.
Of course, it's always best to check with your doctor, especially if you have any pre-existing health conditions.
Right.
But in general, exercise during pregnancy has so many advantages.
All right, I'm all ears.
Mhm.
Tell me more about the benefits of staying active during pregnancy.
Well, for starters, it can help with healthy weight management, which we already know is important.
Right.
It can also reduce those pesky pregnancy discomforts like backaches, leg cramps, and bloating.
Sign me up.
Anything else? Exercise can also lower your risk of gestational diabetes,
Okay.
a type of diabetes that develops during pregnancy and postpartum depression, which can occur after childbirth.
Wow.
And get this,
Yeah.
there's even evidence that it can make labor and delivery easier.
Wow. I'm starting to feel like exercise is a pregnancy superpower.
It kind of is.
So how much are we talking about? What are the official recommendations for exercise during pregnancy?
Aim for at least 150 minutes a week of moderate intensity aerobic activity spread throughout the week.
What does moderate intensity even mean? How do I know if I'm working hard enough?
Think of it this way. If you can carry on a conversation while you're exercising,
Yeah.
but you can't sing, then you're probably at a moderate intensity.
Okay.
That's the sweet spot.
The talk test.
Yes, the talk test.
Yeah, I can remember that. Now, what kinds of exercises are safe and effective during pregnancy?
Yeah,
I imagine there's some that are better than others.
absolutely. Walking is always a fantastic option, and it's accessible to just about everyone.
Right.
Water aerobics is another great choice, especially if you're feeling a little heavier
Okay.
or experiencing joint pain.
Uh-huh.
And prenatal yoga is amazing for strength, flexibility, and relaxation.
Mm.
All of these activities are low impact and gentle on your joints,
Right.
which is important during pregnancy.
I love that there's so many options,
Yeah,
but I'm guessing there are also some activities we should avoid, right?
you are right.
With all this talk of staying active, are there any activities that could be harmful during pregnancy?
Anything with a high risk of falls or abdominal injury is best avoided.
Okay.
So things like contact sports activities with lots of jumping or sudden movements or exercises where you could easily lose your balance are off the table.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What else should we steer clear of?
Avoid exercising in extreme heat.
Okay.
And skip the steam rooms, hot tubs, and saunas.
Oh, yeah?
High temperatures can be dangerous for both you and your baby.
Got it.
Also, after the first trimester, it's best to avoid exercises that require you to lie flat on your back.
Why is that?
As your pregnancy progresses and your uterus grows, lying flat on your back can compress a major vein called the vena cava, which returns blood to your heart.
Okay.
This can reduce blood flow to you and the baby, making you feel lightheaded and potentially affecting your baby's oxygen supply.
Wow. Okay.
You'll want to favor side-lying positions for optimal circulation.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So lots of options for staying active, but also some important precautions to keep in mind. It's all about listening to your body and being mindful of your changing needs.
Exactly. And remember, this is a journey, not a race.
Okay.
Start slow, listen to your body, and enjoy the process.
Love that. Now, we've talked about what happens during pregnancy, but what about life after baby arrives? I mean, there's the whole getting back in shape thing that everyone talks about.
It's definitely a transition,
Yeah.
but the most important thing is to be kind to yourself.
Okay.
Your body has just done something incredible, and it needs time to heal and recover.
So no pressure to bounce back right away.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Focus on gradually returning to a healthy weight.
Okay.
It can take time, and that's perfectly okay.
All right.
Crash diets and extreme workouts are not the answer.
Got it. So what is the answer?
Yeah.
How do we approach postpartum health in a way that's both effective and sustainable?
It's all about those same core healthy habits we established during pregnancy. We want to keep nourishing our bodies with nutritious foods, engaging in regular physical activity that feels good, and prioritizing sleep whenever possible. Those are the foundations of postpartum recovery.
So it's really about continuing those healthy habits we established during pregnancy
Exactly.
and giving ourselves grace as our bodies adjust to this new chapter.
Exactly. Consistency is key.
Okay.
And of course, this is a time when self-care is more important than ever.
Yeah.
Newborns are demanding little creatures.
Can imagine.
That's why it's so important to give yourself grace, accept help from loved ones, and connect with other new parents.
Okay.
You're not alone in this journey.
Speaking of postpartum health, let's talk about breastfeeding.
Yeah.
I know it's incredibly beneficial for babies,
Yes.
but does it also help moms lose weight?
That's a common question. The truth is, breastfeeding may or may not directly contribute to weight loss.
Okay.
Every woman's body is different, and there are so many factors at play.
Right.
But here's what we do know. Breastfeeding has a ton of other amazing benefits.
Okay, let's hear it. What are some of the amazing benefits of breastfeeding?
First and foremost, breast milk is like liquid gold for babies. It provides the perfect blend of nutrients for their growth and development.
Yeah.
And it also strengthens their immune system, helping protect them from common infant illnesses.
Wow.
And for moms, breastfeeding releases hormones that can help with bonding
Okay.
and uterine contraction, which helps your uterus return to its normal size after delivery.
Wow, that's impressive. It sounds like breastfeeding's a win-win for everyone involved.
It really is. And even if it doesn't magically melt away the baby weight,
Right.
the other benefits are undeniable.
So whether or not you choose to breastfeed, the key takeaway is to prioritize those core healthy habits.
Yes.
Nutritious food, regular activity, and self-care.
Exactly.
So that's the recipe for a smooth postpartum journey.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And remember, this is a time of immense change and adjustment.
Right.
Be patient with yourself, seek support when you need it, and celebrate every little victory along the way.
I love that. Now, before we wrap up this incredible deep dive into healthy pregnancy, I wanted to touch on one more thing that stood out to me in the NIDDK's advice.
Okay.
It's all about approaching pregnancy as a journey, not just a destination.
I couldn't agree more. It's about making choices that support both your physical and emotional well-being, both during pregnancy and beyond.
Exactly. And it's about remembering that every step you take from nourishing your body with healthy foods to taking time for yourself is an investment in your health and the health of your little one.
It's like laying the foundation for a lifetime of well-being for both of you. And what could be more powerful than that?
So true. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, from busting myths to exploring practical tips and expert advice. I feel like I've gained a whole new perspective on healthy pregnancy. What about you?
Me too. It's been a fantastic deep dive. It's amazing how much there is to learn about this incredible journey.
Now, before we move on to the next part of our deep dives, I want to leave you with one final thought. Preparing for pregnancy, both physically and mentally, is like writing the first chapter of a beautiful story. Take the time to craft it well. Choose nourishment over deprivation, movement over stillness, and self-compassion over self-judgment.
Beautifully said.
Oh.
And remember, you have the power to create a healthy and vibrant pregnancy journey, one step at a time.
I love that. We'll be right back after a short break to continue our deep dive.
Sounds good. Welcome back.
All right, so we left off talking about how pregnancy is more like a marathon than a sprint.
All right.
It's a journey.
Yes.
And we need to pace ourselves.
Right.
But that doesn't mean we can't still enjoy the scenery, right?
Exactly. In fact,
Yeah.
part of enjoying the journey is knowing what to expect.
Yeah.
And feeling empowered to make choices that support your well-being.
Okay.
And speaking of feeling empowered,
Okay.
I think it's time we address a big question that often comes up. What about intimacy during pregnancy?
Oh, yeah. That's definitely something I've been wondering about. Is it safe? Are there any things we need to be aware of?
It's a great question. And the good news is that for most women,
Okay.
intimacy is perfectly safe throughout pregnancy.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Of course, it's always a good idea to check with your healthcare provider if you have any concerns.
Right. So.
But generally speaking, there's no reason to shy away from physical connection with your partner.
That's reassuring to hear. But I imagine things might change a bit physically and emotionally as the pregnancy progresses.
You're right. As your body changes, you might find that certain positions become more comfortable than others.
Okay.
And it's also common for women to experience fluctuations in their libido throughout pregnancy.
Oh, okay.
Some women feel more desire while others experience a decrease. It's all completely normal.
It's so important to talk about these things openly and honestly, both with our partners and our healthcare providers.
Absolutely. Communication is key in any relationship, but especially during pregnancy when you're both navigating so many changes.
Okay, so we've covered nutrition, exercise, and even intimacy during pregnancy. What else do we need to know to navigate this journey with confidence?
Well, I think it's important to talk about prenatal care.
Okay.
Regular checkups with your healthcare provider are essential for monitoring your health and your baby's development.
That makes sense. What kind of things happen during these prenatal appointments?
During your prenatal visits, your provider will check your weight and blood pressure, measure your belly to track your baby's growth, listen to your baby's heartbeat, and order any necessary tests.
Wow.
They'll also answer any questions you have
Okay.
and provide guidance on everything from nutrition and exercise to managing common pregnancy discomforts.
It sounds like those appointments are a valuable opportunity to stay informed and connected with your healthcare team.
Exactly. It's also a good time to discuss any concerns you have,
Okay.
whether it's about your physical health, your emotional well-being, or the logistics of preparing for your baby's arrival.
Okay.
Don't hesitate to speak up and ask questions. Your healthcare provider is your partner in this journey.
That's such an important reminder.
Mm.
Now, I know we've touched on some of the physical and emotional changes that can happen during pregnancy, but what about the mental and emotional aspects?
Yeah,
What kind of support do women need during this time?
that's a great question. Pregnancy can be a time of immense joy and excitement,
Right.
but it can also be a time of significant emotional ups and downs.
Okay.
Hormone fluctuations, physical changes, and the anticipation of parenthood can all contribute to mood swings, anxiety, and even depression.
It's so important to acknowledge that it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
Exactly. And it's okay to not feel okay all the time.
Yeah.
If you're struggling with difficult emotions during pregnancy, please know that you're not alone.
Right.
And there's help available. Talk to your healthcare provider, connect with a therapist or support group, and don't be afraid to lean on your loved ones for support.
What a powerful reminder. Pregnancy is a journey, and it's okay to need support along the way.
Yeah.
And speaking of journeys, we've talked a lot about the physical and emotional journey of pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
But what about the journey of labor and delivery? Is there anything we can do to prepare for that experience?
Absolutely. There are many things you can do to prepare for labor and delivery, both physically and mentally.
Okay, like what?
Physically staying active throughout your pregnancy can help you build stamina and strength, which can be beneficial during labor.
That makes sense. What about mental preparation?
Mentally learning about the stages of labor, practicing relaxation techniques like deep breathing and meditation, and creating a birth plan can help you feel more confident and in control.
A birth plan. What exactly is that?
A birth plan is a written document that outlines your preferences for labor and delivery.
Okay.
It might include things like your pain management choices, who you want present during labor,
Got it.
and your preferences for feeding and caring for your baby after birth.
Okay.
It's a way to communicate your wishes to your healthcare team and ensure that everyone is on the same page.
That sounds incredibly helpful.
Yeah.
It must feel empowering to have a say in how you experience labor and delivery.
Absolutely. And even though things don't always go exactly according to plan,
Right.
having a birth plan can help you feel more prepared and confident.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground today, from the early stages of pregnancy to preparing for labor and delivery.
Mm-hmm.
But what about after the baby arrives? What can we expect during those first few weeks and months of parenthood?
The postpartum period,
Okay.
which is the time after childbirth,
Yeah.
is a time of immense adjustment,
Right.
both physically and emotionally.
What kind of physical changes can we expect?
Your body will be recovering from pregnancy and childbirth, so you might experience things like vaginal bleeding, breast tenderness, fatigue, and hormonal fluctuations.
Yeah.
It's important to be patient with yourself as your body heals and adjusts to its non-pregnant state.
It sounds like self-care is more important than ever during this time.
Absolutely. Listen to your body rest when you need to nourish yourself with healthy foods. And don't be afraid to ask for help from loved ones.
What about the emotional side of things?
Emotionally, the postpartum period can be a roller coaster. You might experience a mix of joy, love, overwhelming anxiety, and even sadness.
Yeah.
It's often referred to as the baby blues because it's so common to have mood swings and feel tearful during this time.
I've definitely heard about the baby blues.
It's important to remember that these feelings are normal
Okay.
and usually fade within a couple of weeks. But if you're feeling overwhelmed or like your mood isn't improving, don't hesitate to reach out for support.
Okay.
Postpartum depression is a more serious condition that requires professional help.
This is all so important to talk about. It's so easy to get caught up in the excitement of preparing for a baby that we forget to prepare for ourselves.
You're right. It's crucial to remember that taking care of yourself is just as important as taking care of your baby.
I love that.
Oh.
So we've talked about the physical and emotional changes of the postpartum period. What about the practical side of things? What are some tips for navigating those first few weeks and months with a newborn?
Well, first and foremost, remember that there's no right or wrong way to do things.
Okay.
Every baby is different and every parent finds their own rhythm.
Right.
But here are a few tips that might be helpful.
Okay, I'm ready to take notes.
First, try to establish a routine for feeding, sleeping, and changing diapers.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be rigid, but having some predictability can help both you and your baby feel more secure.
That makes sense.
Oh.
Babies thrive on routine.
Second, prioritize sleep whenever possible.
Oh, yeah.
I know it can feel impossible with a newborn who needs to feed every few hours, but even short naps can make a world of difference in your energy levels and mood.
That's good advice.
What else? Third, don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah.
If friends and family offer to lend a hand, let them.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's helping with meals, laundry, or simply holding the baby so you can take a shower,
Right.
every little bit helps.
Those are all fantastic tips. And, it's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day tasks of caring for a newborn that we forget to nurture our relationships.
You're absolutely right. Maintaining a strong connection with your partner is essential during this time.
Any advice on how to do that when you're both exhausted and sleep deprived?
Communication is key. Make time to talk to each other, even if it's just for a few minutes each day.
Okay.
Share your feelings, your frustrations, and your joys.
Hmm.
And try to schedule in some quality time together, even if it's just a quiet dinner at home after the baby is asleep.
That's such a good reminder. It's so easy to let those little moments of connection slip away when you're in the thick of new parenthood.
Yeah,
But those moments are so important for maintaining a strong bond.
they really are. And remember, this is just a season. It's intense, it's challenging,
Yeah.
but it's also incredibly rewarding.
I love that perspective. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground on pregnancy, labor, and delivery, and the postpartum period.
Right.
But there's one more topic I wanted to touch on before we wrap up this deep dive. Breastfeeding. We talked briefly about some of the benefits,
Yeah.
but I'd love to hear more about the practical side of things. What can we expect in those early days of breastfeeding?
It's great that you're bringing this up because breastfeeding can be both incredibly rewarding and surprisingly challenging, especially in the beginning.
I've heard it can be quite a learning curve for both mom and baby.
Exactly. It takes time and practice for both of you to get the hang of it.
Okay.
It's common to experience some soreness or discomfort in the first few makes as your nipples adjust to breastfeeding.
Any tips for managing that?
Absolutely. Make sure you're latching your baby on correctly.
Okay.
Use a lanolin cream to soothe your nipples.
Mhm.
And don't hesitate to reach out to a lactation consultant for help if you're having any difficulties.
That's good to know. I've heard lactation consultants can be lifesavers for new moms who are struggling with breastfeeding.
They really can. They're experts in all things breastfeeding.
Okay.
And they can provide personalized guidance and support to help you overcome any challenges you might be facing.
So we've talked about some of the challenges, but let's go back to those incredible benefits of breastfeeding for a moment. Can you remind us why it's such a powerful choice for both mom and baby?
Absolutely. Breast milk is truly nature's perfect food for babies. It contains a unique blend of nutrients, antibodies, and other beneficial substances that are perfectly tailored to meet your baby's needs.
Yeah.
It helps protect them from infections, allergies, and chronic diseases.
Oh.
And it even has benefits for you as a mom, such as reducing your risk of certain types of cancer and helping your uterus contract back to its normal size.
Wow, that's incredible. It's amazing to think that our bodies are capable of producing such a powerful substance.
It really is. And the bond that breastfeeding creates between a mother and her baby is truly special.
It sounds like breastfeeding is a journey in itself, full of ups and downs, but ultimately so worth it.
Exactly. And like any journey, it's important to be patient with yourself, seek support when you need it, and celebrate every little victory along the way.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive, from the early stages of pregnancy to the postpartum period and beyond.
Yeah.
We've talked about nutrition, exercise, prenatal care, intimacy, emotional well-being, labor and delivery, breastfeeding, and so much more. I feel like I've gained a wealth of knowledge. What about you?
Me too. It's been an incredible journey exploring all these facets of pregnancy and parenthood with you.
And you know, one thing that's really resonated with me throughout this conversation is the importance of trusting our instincts and listening to our bodies.
I couldn't agree more. Your body is incredibly wise,
Right.
and it's constantly sending you signals about what it needs.
Mm-hmm.
Learning to tune into those signals and honor them is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself during this journey.
That's such a beautiful reminder.
Yeah.
And it's a perfect segue into our final thought for you today. As we wrap up our deep dive into healthy pregnancy, I want to leave you with this thought. Pregnancy is not just about growing a baby. It's about growing you. It's a transformation that extends far beyond the physical.
Right.
It's about discovering new strengths, embracing new vulnerabilities, and tapping into a wellspring of resilience you might not even known you had.
Beautifully said. It's a journey of self-discovery, and like any journey, it's unique to each individual. There will be moments of joy, moments of challenge, and moments of pure awe as you witness the miracle of life unfolding within you.
And I think one of the most important things we've learned today is that you don't have to navigate this journey alone.
No, you don't.
You have a team of experts, your
Yeah.
healthcare provider, your support system, and even this deep dive
Right.
to guide and empower you every step of the way.
That's right. And remember, you are stronger than you think. You have everything you need within you to embrace the challenges and celebrate the triumphs of this incredible chapter.
So as you embark on this adventure, we want you to remember a few key things. First, nourish your body with wholesome foods, but don't be afraid to indulge in a craving or two along the way.
Right.
And move your body in ways that feel good. Whether it's a gentle walk in nature, a prenatal yoga class, or a splash in the pool, Rest when you need to.
Yes.
Prioritize sleep, even if it means letting the laundry pile up or the dishes sit in the sink for a while.
Definitely.
And seek support when you need it.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to ask for help, whether it's from your partner, your family, your friends, or a professional.
Great advice.
And most importantly, listen to your body and trust your instincts.
Yeah.
You are the expert on your own pregnancy journey.
Beautifully said. So to all you amazing listeners out there who are embarking on this incredible adventure, we applaud you. Embrace the journey, cherish the moments, and know that you are not alone.
We're so grateful to have had the opportunity to share this deep dive with you, and we wish you all the best on your journey to parenthood. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and most importantly, stay well.